Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to talk about why you do things right the first time. Live examples right here. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back, everybody, to Your Little Castle Show. Carter Rethwish, a.k.a. the Cardinal Cowboy. Sean Williams in the building here. Williams Squared General Contracting. Let me get dirty for you. I have frustrated a few people in my life because I just tell it how it is. Yeah. And some people aren't ready for that. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. Yep. It works. That's some of the jive I got from my buddy Sean. Literally like, let's not play games. Yeah. Let's tell it the way it is.
Might as well.
Save everybody a lot of hassle. And I appreciate that because that is literally, life is short.
Yes, sir.
We want to get to the point. We want to fix things. We want to make things right. That's the way Sean does it. If you missed that first show, everybody, literally, I jokingly say to my friends, I think I doubled my knowledge. But I'm not joking this time. I doubled my knowledge there with understanding just the perspective on how to run a business so successfully for 19 years, doing it the right way.
Yes, sir.
Williams Squared, Sean Williams, WilliamsSquaredSTL.com. Check out his new website. I help make that happen.
Yes, sir.
We know what we're doing with the website. Shout out to our sponsor. If you'd like some information about how you can safely, securely, certifiedly, is that a word, certifiedly?
You just made it.
I just made it up right there. Certifiedly get your hands on some gold that has been tested, certified, guaranteed. They do this. It's revolutionized the way it's done. So go to goldcowboy.com. My Metal Pro is a sponsor of our show. Now I'm an investor in gold.
Let's see what he got for you.
My package showed up today. I told Sean, so I'm going to open this up on the show live. Is that all right?
Let's see what he got. See what he got for you today.
Got my latest magazine, the Vault Report, everybody. I'll take a look at that. I always get excited about my new coin.
Okay.
If you want to get, the cool thing about coins is that they're worth their weight in the gold or the silver that they have, but they also become novelty and go up in 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 times. I've learned so much about coins.
Okay.
Oh, this is the one, everybody! I didn't realize this is the one. Okay, and now I was at the seminar. They flew me down to their seminar in Orlando last week. I know some people are going, oh, geez, here we go again. Got to look at another picture of the Cardinal Cowboy. But in this case, Sean, I'm going to borrow your camera. I'll show you. I'm going to open it up live here for everybody. Hey. You're going to get a kick out of this. Now you can get minted your own personalized coin of you doing whatever it is you do. They showed us how to do it live at the seminar. On the back is the famous buffalo. And so let me grab my remote. I'm going to cheat here. But this is the buffalo. So we go to Sean's camera. There it is. So as I'm leaning over here, but I'm going to hold this up in front of you, Sean. But that way, at least there's a pretty background behind it.
I know, right?
With Sean instead of me. But look at this buffalo.
Nice.
I'll go ahead and change the title. So we got a little new title. But look at this coin, everybody. This is a pretty coin. What's even more pretty? Now you're going to laugh. I said, what are you joking me? Are you joking me? Look at that,
cowboy.
Everybody. What? This is an actual physical coin. I'm going to take it out of the case. Probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe I shouldn't.
If you can.
Anyway, I can show you. It's a coin. Look at that. And what's it going to come up? It's coming up heads. Right there, everybody.
Cowboy.
And it spins for a while, doesn't it? And I can tell already what's landing on. It's with the cowboy up.
Yes, sir.
That's the heads up.
Yes, sir.
And so there is a physical, actual coin of the Cardinal Cowboy. You can get your own coin. Ask me how.
Ain't gonna stop, huh?
Can you tell that's a real coin?
Yes, sir.
I do want to take it out of there, but I don't really want to. But that is cool. Get yourself a coin. Let me know, and I'll help you guys get your own coin.
Yes, sir.
Sean, maybe get you a coin,
yes,
too.
Sir.
I like that.
With a logo on it.
You got it. That's what we do. We say businesses and get their logos
yes,
on
sir.
it. This is a great innovation. This one may not be worth much more because it's a Cardinal Cowboy. But they've got a JFK coin. They've got a, was it the Missouri that sank in World War II, and over in Hawaii.
They got their coin
They,
too?
they actually had a piece of the ship that got put inside the coin. They get such an awesome stuff. Check them out, everybody. We need to shout out to these guys. But we're highlighting those leaders. Go to goldcowboy.com. My buddy Curtis, My Metal Pro, amazing what they do. All right, let's jump in here. We got more work to do, don't we all?
Yes, sir.
Look at this website, everybody. 2 hours ago, no website. Now we got a website. And I saw your website. You said it's just temporarily. You've had some issue, whatever it was. We didn't talk about that much. I said, let me help you out here. I want you to have a website. We got a website.
You took care of that.
Took care of that, and it's a good-looking website. And this guy deserves to have a good-looking website because he does some great work, and you can see that work on there. And this is all we did in not too long a time to make sure that happens. But everybody deserves to have a high-quality, good. Big thing about this website, everybody's got that back end for the automated follow-ups. A lot of people, most all your websites don't do that. These do. Actually, where you can get them. We do them. We're contracted. We're an affiliate of a company that makes that all available. So thank you for that. And your website now is up on the wall for everybody to see.
Thank you, sir.
Facebook page too. A lot of good work we show out there. But as we dive in here, we talked about it. We finished the show. I tell everybody when we come back for show number 2, not show 5, not 4, not 3, not 1, but show 2. See how we did that? What that mistake that people make, you talked about it. How important it is that when people, they don't research who it is they're about to hand a check to for, even if it's partial, upfront, half,
Whatever it is.
even when it's done and they don't realize who did it. They're like, nah, it's a mess. They don't research and find out who they're working with.
Correct. That's a number one mistake.
Okay.
You want to know who you have working on your home because it's your home. You want to trust what they're doing as well. Plus, you want to trust who's in your home.
That's a good point.
Around your family and everything. So.
Oops, I was zoomed in. I had to. Sorry, guys, I had my zoom in there for a second. We got a zoomed in shot on Sean there, but yeah, I mean, literally, you don't want somebody working inside your house. That was a good point you make. Let me put that one back. There it is, everybody. We got the less zoomed in. Sorry about that, but yeah, you got people working inside your house. You want to make sure that they're trustworthy, bonded,
They're who they say they are.
insured. My name's Steve Davis.
For right now.
All the Steve Davis guys out there, I'm not picking on you. I just threw a generic name out. But how many? Yeah, you want to make sure.
It happens. Like they'll hire someone, and they say they can do this, but they actually can't do it, and that's why I show up at. So.
20 years now. Your 19th year going up on the 20 here shortly. You know who you're dealing with here.
Yes.
Sean Williams, everybody. Williams Squared. I love that name, man. That is cool. All right, well, make sure you do that. Tell me, do you do residential and commercial?
Yes, I do.
You do both?
Yes, I do.
And so there's a lot of small businesses out there, and even some good-sized businesses, I would imagine. What's the biggest project you've worked on over your career, would you say?
The biggest I've done is a 300 square roof. I actually traveled to Cincinnati, Ohio to do it.
Okay.
And the biggest 300 square feet, 100 feet off the ground.
Did you hear that, everybody? 100 feet off the ground, working in the air, doing this. That's a big job.
Yes, sir.
300 surface area with 300
correct.
square feet. That's,
Correct.
This room we're in, everybody, is about 17 by 17. So imagine take that times like 20.
Yeah. It was a doozy.
19, something like that.
It was a doozy.
Okay. And we got actually some pictures of that. We promised everybody we're going to show the pictures for everybody. You can see some of the work he's done. And I know one of the pictures. What's one of the pictures you had? I saw you walking on the roof. I didn't realize it was 100 feet in the air.
Yeah, you can't tell. Make it look easy.
By the way, we're 100 feet in the air, everybody. Hey. All right. Tell me a time, though, when you felt like you really helped a client. I mean, we all deal with multiple issues with regard to anyone we ever work with. We all deal with that stuff. The car thing I had to deal with. Joe took care of it, though. I had a car that actually, I bought it. Drove it for a year. About 6 months in, they're like, there's a problem with this. I'm like, well, I don't know where the title's taking so long. They're like, because somebody forged your title, your VIN, and I drove a car for a year that had been, it was stolen. So they said, we went 6 sales back, and we still haven't figured out who stole it. All these people that sold it down the chain to go to the dealer, go to the auction, they didn't know. I mean, it was not terribly hard to track down if you really analyzed it. My buddy Billy looked at it, and he's like, do you see that washed out a little bit right there? But anyway, but the dealer had nothing to do with that. The auction house, you go down the line, and it wasn't real obvious. You had to do some digging.
Right.
But they called me, and next thing I go through the whole process. These are not the things you want to deal with. You want to deal with, and this is I don't blame the guys that I worked with. Were great because they took responsibility. They fixed it. They wrote a check to give me 100% of the money back.
Okay.
Or I was depreciated for the 1 year, which was not much. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but it looked like it was a little depreciated. And that made sense because I'd have to drive it for a year.
Mm-hmm.
But in a house, these are not the things you kind of want to do when you're getting a house remodeled, and because it could be a similar situation. That depreciated value, that's what's going to be true of my house, of my car, just because it's driving around. House should not go down in value based on the work that's being done there. Explain that for a little bit in time. You felt like you helped somebody, and that might have been a situation they were in.
Actually, I had a customer that didn't fully, she had a storm damage in her home. She didn't fully understand her insurance papers.
Right, okay. That happens a lot.
Yes. I mean, they kind of word it funny for you, but you have to understand the lingo that they use, the language they use.
I was going to say, do you need a law degree to understand the legal terms that are in there? Sometimes,
sort of.
Or somebody's done it for a long time. Probably knows more than you.
If you've worked long enough, you kind of know what the words mean and everything. So I kind of actually sat down with her, broke everything down for her, let her know what she would be gaining versus what she'd be losing.
Okay.
And she really appreciated that. And to this day, she's one of my repeat customers.
Right.
And that's been about 10 years ago.
Take note on that one, everybody. Do the job right. You might have people come back.
Yeah.
We've had a number of people come back on our show, too. So I think that's just a good strategy for life. But the word spreads. People want to be involved with you because they know that. What's the biggest thing we're all worried about? We're all worried about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We've talked about that. You've probably studied that at McClure.
Yeah.
At the top, self-actualization, but at the bottom, survival. We got to pay the bills. We don't want to have something happen to us. And then right above that is a safe place to live. That's
right
important.
In the middle.
Right there, very important. And people do not want to get taken because their finances has a lot to do with their survival.
Yes.
And you take the $30,000, $40,000 job gets done incorrectly. That's a big problem.
That's a problem. Very, very, very much so a problem. And I don't want nobody to go through that with me. So I'd rather they feel safe and comfortable. Know they're going to have a guy that comes in with his crew, gets the job done correct, and get on out your way.
19 years doing it, everybody. I think that says enough right there.
Yes,
but
sir.
That's cool to hear. All right, well, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Maybe I'm going to share with you. Put that one on your website. That'll be a good one.
Sound good.
That's a good one to make note for people. But those are the things we like to hear about. As a matter of getting into this whole world of media, though, we do share a little bit. I'll give the shout out here because I can tell you, he's on the path now because he's showing off that work he does. But if you want to understand how to monetize your media, and then you need to magnetize your media. If you can create something that is magnetic, everybody knows what a magnet is. People that are drawn to it. If you want to monetize, you must magnetize. So this book, I wrote the 4-word. I essentially wrote the first chapter. Like Carter, you're supposed to write 500 words. I wrote 1,800. They said.
Okay.
But it ended up being kind of chapter 1. But learn how to magnetize your media because that's what will help you with your business these days. That's what we're helping our friends here. Sean,
yes, sir.
He does such good work. We want to share that. But check, it's a number 1. Look at that again. I'll say number 1 seller on Amazon for its category, and great information there for you guys to understand how to prosper your business. If you're not doing it, somebody else is going to take over.
That's right.
Even they may not be as good as you, but they're going to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
You need to share what you're doing too. How has technology, along those lines, how has technology changed the way you've done this? Now, 19 years ago,
They didn't have this.
they didn't have social media, right?
No,
They didn't have. You used the old tape measure.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
And now you got laser pointers and
I
aerial photos. Tell me some of the ways technology has helped you.
Tremendously. Like I get in contact with customers I probably would have never got in contact with because of social media. Pictures, I can send them across the skies and right now, and I can actually stand on the ground and take a picture of the roof now versus having to put a ladder out and climb up there. So technology has helped, and I hope it gets even better to the point I can get more customers across the seas, across the water, So
Well, we just did a little. I thought so much of what Sean did. I said, "Here's I'm going to just put some other stuff for you, just to help you out. We'll talk about whatever. I mean, we all work for a living, but I said you need this marketing automation system.
Yes.
It'll really help you. And if you saw a little bit about the way it works, he's like, wow, that will help you. The technology will really help you.
Yes,
and
it does.
That's what you. And somebody who's on the ball, you deserve to have those things. It's just somebody has to tell you where to get it and how you get it and how you set it up. And it's not near as expensive as everybody thinks. I'll show you how you can do that. But thank you, because the technology does impact tremendously the way we function in our world now. Tell me the process, though. Obviously, somebody says, hey, I think it's great. Now it's as easy as going to the website, the phone number, On the contact information, there it is. I'm gonna scroll that down for everybody. And there you see it. There it is behind me. But look at that. Call the number. Ask for the free quote right there in the middle of the page. Is that the easiest way?
Yes, sir.
Call that phone number.
Call or text, email, either way, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible.
And so Rhonda will likely be helping you with all that?
She'll probably be calling back first to set up an appointment time for me to come by and take a look at everything for you.
And that's how you do it. But right there on the front of the website, which is WilliamsSquaredSTL.com, everybody.
Yes.
So make sure you get that information. But as a matter of that, walk me through that process a little bit, because the phone call is the initial getting it started. But once things are going, how do they go? You go meet them at their house, talk about what they want. Tell me where it goes from there.
We set up a time which is convenient for them.
Right.
I'm always convenient for the customer. We kind of get some notes, kind of get the idea what they're looking for, the color schemes and things like that. And then from there, it's like a process of me picking out things, showing the customer what they would choose to have in their home. And then once it's all picked out and sorted, the color scheme sorted, take off. It's gone. And I'm done through the whole process.
Literally. That's why I like working with small businesses, everybody, because they're not just there to oversee the project that somebody else is running.
Right.
You're running the
Yes,
project.
sir. I'm sure I'm the first one you see and the last one you see.
That's important, because I know how often it is the case that, and that's why we continue to promote our small business owners, everybody, because you're often dealing with the owner or somebody that was directly trained by the owner.
Correct.
Right? And if the owner has to get involved, it's a phone call or a text away, not a call into a call center. It calls into another level.
person.
It goes to an upper level manager. It goes to a vice president. And ultimately, they're like, "What are we talking about? Don't we have a $14 million ad budget that's going to make this go away?"
Call me, I'm showing up. I'm already there. Matter of fact, you can just come outside and talk to me.
Be outside the door waiting for you.
Yes, sir.
Send him that text with your location. He'll click the link, and the GPS will tell you how to get there.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere in St. Louis. What is the primary area you service? Is it all over St. Louis?
St. Louis City, St.
Illinois?
Louis County, St. Charles County,
Okay.
any part of Missouri. We actually do out-of-town work as well. Like I said, went to Cincinnati, Ohio, did a roof.
Okay.
So, like I said, the internet, social media,
Yeah, people find out you're
a
good.
whole lot.
They'll track you down.
If they want some good work, one phone call away.
Figure out who you are.
Got no problem gassing the truck up and get on down the highway.
It costs a little more if you go to Hawaii, but otherwise it's something you can definitely do something to make sure. That's my girl. She's calling. We're up late like tonight. Everybody doing this, making sure we finish up here, because this gentleman's busy all day. I'm certain, and at night. So we make it convenient for people to come in and interview with us.
Appreciate it.
When they are available. With that, all right. Well, then obviously, taking care of the clients, making that process easy for people, makes it easy for you to help them. But when somebody decides to work with you, you take it from the beginning to end.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a time when you had a big challenge, though. I mean, a business is full of challenges. If you're not having challenges in your business, then you haven't been in business long enough.
Yes, that's correct.
Give me a couple examples of something you've learned and help you get through and make you stronger.
Kind of just, you got to fight through it. Like every job's not the same. Everything has different consequences and different measurements and things like that.
Different requirements.
Yes, but you just have to fight through it. Like just show up, put your mind to it, and get it on done. I mean, it ain't gonna get done by itself. So you gotta just fight through it. You know, particularly one job I had a big job rebuilding a pool house.
Wow.
Started out as just replacing the roof, but took the roof off, and then we had termite damage.
Oh wow.
Termite damage into the trusses. Took the trusses off, replaced the trusses. Termite damage into the walls. We had to take the walls down as well. What started out as being a roof job turned into a complete rehab of a pool house.
Yep.
So we fought through it though. It took a while, but we got the job done to the customer satisfaction, and everything was. By the time we left the job, people satisfied.
Well, that's what we're talking about. The people have to. You have to stick to it. I guess is what you're saying. You stick to it.
Yes.
That's the key to success.
Yes.
And if you don't stick to it, then what are you going to end up with? Because the job is halfway done.
No, we can't leave
now
it.
you just left a customer in a mess.
No, we can't do that.
They're going to spend more money to get it finished from wherever they were. Somebody has to come and figure out what was going on, and maybe
Correct.
these things didn't have the plans, all that stuff. That's a mess. You don't want to ever leave somebody in that
can't
type
do
of a situation. Well, that's key to know that for anybody who wants to do this. You talk about a specific challenge here. We took some notes. You did a roof that was 300 square feet, 100 feet in the air.
Yes.
How good did it make you feel to get that job done? I mean, that's a huge task.
Yes.
The average contractor would be like, "That's not my wheelhouse. I don't want to do that." Tell me more about that
I felt
job.
real good. Like it was a celebration when we got done, to be exact, because it was. I've done big roofs before, but that was like the biggest challenge, and it was also I was out of town as well, so I didn't have the resources I normally have if I was at home, so I had to pull up my sleeves a little bit and do a little digging just to get the job done. But like I said, when it got done, everybody was satisfied, and me and my crew, we really patted ourselves on the back, and we had a little party when it was all over.
Well, there you go. Get that job done, because how often are we grinding, trying to get it done, and people just don't have the stick-to-itiveness. That's what we talk about. The number one key to success very often is sticking with it.
Yeah, you got to stay with it. Stay with it.
And take note on that one, everybody. How many times where we're this close? I've used that picture before on our old show, the Cowboy and Judge show. The axe and the pick, the guys are digging in the mine, getting themselves some gold, maybe, right? They're on the way. They're 2 or 3 hacks away, and the one guy gives up. Right there.
You got to keep going.
He's in the middle of it. Could have finished this. Could have got there if he just wouldn't given up.
A little bit more.
2 more hacks. The other guy was showing. He keeps going. You know he's going to get there.
Yes, sir.
How often is that the case?
Just fight it on through.
In life.
Yes.
That's the case in life that we often all have to deal with. All right. That's a great message for a lot of people out there, because there's so much that we do have to get into. But tell me, favorite quote. Yeah, interesting, cool quote you've got here. I appreciate that. And so a lot of us come up with quotes we've heard for many, many years. You've got one you've kind of developed on your own here. Tell me about it.
Let me get dirty for you. The concept is, let me do it. Some people don't want to get dirty. They don't want to get their hands dirty, the nails dirty. That's what my concept. Let me just do it. Just tell me what you want, and let me get dirty for you. That's my concept.
I like it. We all know that sometimes you got to get your hands dirty.
Yes, sir.
They talk about, did they come in there and get their hands dirty? And they might have been talking about paper pushing, but did you get the work done? Did you dig in?
Yeah.
You're talking about literally get the hands dirty.
Yes, sir.
And getting the hands dirty to make sure the job gets done too.
Yes, sir.
And that's a cool one. I've got a lot of my favorites. I might steal that one from you sometime, because there's so many people. Is that all right?
You can write them down.
If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you are correct.
Yes.
And it's not the error in life. We already talked about this. It's not the error in life that causes you to lose the game. It's how you respond to that error.
Yes,
do you
sir.
give up, or do you keep going?
Keep on
and
going.
keep going until you get it done. But now my new one here, let me get dirty for you.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm here to make the world a better place. Whether that's a charity, an organization, a business, or whatever it is you're helping to make this
We're a little bit better.
A little bit better. Tell me an objection people might have. What's a question? The biggest question people have. I'm interested, but does it always come down to money? What is the biggest question that people have? The objection that they're going, ooh, yes, but I need to know how you're going to do. What is the biggest objection you have to deal with a lot of times?
The biggest objection I deal with. The biggest thing is sometimes people think that all contractors are the same. When some don't do what they say they're going to do, some do over and beyond. You know, I just try to stick to myself as being the person that they call on. I respond in a good manner, and I do what I'm going to say I'm going to do. Finish it completely. No half-stepping, no knick-knacking, no playing around.
No half-stepping. Yeah.
And just get it done. I mean, stick to it. I mean, like you said before, it's hard sometimes. It don't always go as planned.
Sure.
But stick to the plan and get it done.
Stick to the plan, even if that means altering the plan.
Correct.
Sometimes, right? But there is a plan.
The customer's always right. Always.
That is true.
Always.
I've had to understand that one a little bit. The customer was actually wrong, but it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
You got to make them happy.
They got it.
So whatever way you is to make them happy, their customer is right.
Correct.
Is that what that is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, and I like that, because there's so many people that are quote unquote. We talked about this the other night with my mom. They are fly by night. What does that mean? Fly by night. They like to travel at night. They work during the day. No, we're talking about under the cover. They fly by night. Like, have you heard this one? The warranty, the service, the guarantee of their work is only as good as long as you can see their tail lights.
That's it.
Those are not the people we want.
No, you don't want those. That's what I mean by doing your research on the contract.
Okay.
Because if they do fly by night, they'll be here in daytime. By the nightfall, they're gone.
They're gone. All right, everybody. I got to jump in here as we finish up. We're almost through, but I've got to show these pictures off. This work done here by our good buddy is dynamite. So you can see them up there on the wall. But there's a good example of some finished siding. The gutters, I'm sorry, the shutters, the windows, that is good looking work. Who did this work?
Some guy.
Some guy
Yeah.
that knows what they're doing.
Yes,
Williams Square General Contracting, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll start off with that one. I want to go through a bunch of these because there's so much good stuff that you've got out there. This is what siding looks like when you're installing it. Is that right?
Correct.
This is what's going on behind the scenes. You got to make this stuff all latched together correctly. How important is that?
The seams have to line up, and it has to be installed correctly, or the wind will take it away.
The wind will take
The
it away.
wind will take it away.
And that's your vinyl siding. It's very popular.
Correct.
But you can tell where those things have to be applied and installed correctly,
Yes,
or you're
sir.
going to have issues.
Yes, sir.
New tub. We got
Jacuzzi.
the kitchen, the bathroom. And this is the
Jacuzzi.
jacuzzi.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. It's got all the jets in there too.
Yes.
Take a look at that, everybody, because now you're talking, hey, luxury redefined, brand new toilet, brand new jacuzzi, and the wood-looking panels finishing. Is that real wood or is that the
That's ceramic tile
ceramic tile that looks like
with
wood?
the wood finish on it.
With the wood finish.
Yes.
Okay. So you got to talk to the experts here, everybody. They know how to make these things happen. Now, I know this is something that's important. I'm probably due for one of these. That's a brand new water heater.
Yes, it is.
You do water heaters too.
Correct.
Why is that water heater so important to the average family? It's kind of self-evident, but
Ooh, yes, sir. You want a hot bath, don't you, at nighttime? After a long, hard day at work?
nobody likes to take a cold
No,
bath
sir.
unless they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or they do those ice challenges thing, but I don't do that often.
I don't think you want to do that.
I've
all the
never
time.
done that, actually.
Not in the middle of St. Louis wintertime. I don't think you want to do that.
Do not do that.
Yes, sir.
All right, very important. As again, what you can see, that's a good-looking heater that does the job there. And so let's go to our next slide here. What's going on with that? We're going backwards. I'm gonna flip all the way to the beginning of these. There we go. We're flashing through our pictures, everybody. That's where I wanted to get to. That counter, that kitchen, those cabinets, that is beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
How did you end up pulling that job together? That looks great.
One of my repeat customers. She gave me an idea, gave me a color scheme, and I just ran with it. I don't know if you can see, but the floor and the countertop actually matches.
Let's take that off there. Oh my gosh, those tiles on the floor.
Can you see
they
how
match
that-
too. You got
Yes.
it all together.
Yeah.
And you can do that for somebody.
Yes, sir.
You just know what you're doing.
Yeah, just give me a color scheme and I'm going to run with it. Woo.
So here's something before.
That
Okay,
was
okay.
a
That's,
doozy there.
that's in the middle of it, maybe. And here, is that the after?
No, we missed that one.
Okay.
That's the after.
That's the after. Wow, that's a big difference.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That makes me feel better about, holy cow, there's some people that out there that have some stuff that doesn't look so good.
Yes, sir.
And then afterwards it looks like that. I'm going to let you take a look at that again. Good looking work right there. Beautiful tile, that tub again. New tub. There's that wood finished. Now the tub's below that, but that's a wood finished ceramic tile.
Correct.
Holy cow, I didn't know they made these things. I got to get the right camera on there, everybody. But yeah, wow, that looks dynamite. And then here we go. This is the roof. We have another picture we're going to show you. This is the before, everybody.
Yes.
And when you've got a roof, the roof you got to take care of.
Yes, sir.
Ridge vent going in there, the cap and the whole deal.
Whole deal.
Making this thing look beautiful.
New decking as well was going on it.
And I'm going to show you the after in a minute. But here is a deck that is before. That is after.
Brought it back to life.
Brought it back to life, everybody. Well, we've got a lot more work we'd like to show here, but there's my buddy Fred Bird. I can tell you, get a hold of Sean. He knows what he's doing. There's that roof we were talking about. After a pipe that got cleaned out, you know what you're doing. Get a hold of my buddy Sean here,
Yes, sir.
everybody. All right, everybody, get it.